Hey Blasters, Shawn from Blue Dog Blasting. Today we are going over all the various different coupling materials that are used on the market today. Stay tuned. Shawn, Blue Dog University, get out and blast.
Kevin Elfreville, themetalfinisher.com. That's what she said.
Hey Blasters, so if you've been on the Blue Dog Blasting website under the couplings, you've probably noticed that you've got a variety of things to choose from. We've got aluminum, we've got brass, we've got steel, and we've got nylon. Most of the couplings come in almost all of these options for you. The hose couplings, you definitely have your option of aluminum, brass, nylon, and the steel. As far as the nozzle couplings, we definitely have the aluminum, we've got the nylon, you got your contractor thread and your standard thread. We can get the brass nozzle couplings as well, we just don't have them on the website just yet. As far as tank couplings, we definitely have the brass, and that's our more popular one, but we also have them in aluminum and we do have them in nylon. So you're probably asking yourself, Shawn, why do I even need all these options of materials here? So that's what we're going to go over today. Now, the nylon ones are definitely the lightest ones, and if you're dealing with a little bit smaller pod or going with lighter PSIs, this is a good option for you guys. It does have the advantage of having its own locking safety pin in it, so when you're putting your two couplings together, edit that. When you put them together and twist, it just naturally locks right into place. So it's got a safety pin built into it basically. It's a little bit lighter. It is rated for 125 PSI, but as you'll see from the Nico website, they do pressure test these things, and they've had up to about 600 pounds worth of pressure run through these things before they have any faults. Why they say it's 125, I'm not exactly sure. And then as you get into the mediums, which is the aluminum, this is actually steel. Comes in two different colors of steel. The aluminum is your mid-grade. It is rated for 150 pounds of pressure, although once again, doing pressure tests, you'll see that they do stand up to a whole lot more. Again, the aluminum has kind of become the standard in the industry. It is lightweight, it is durable, it is strong. You'll find it most of the times on people's equipment. This seems to be their go-to for things. Brass and steel both have the same pressure rating of 175 PSI. They are definitely the heavier of the materials. Brass is probably a little bit more malleable than your steel is going to be. But if you're definitely doing some hard industry type of stuff, or you ever think that somebody's going to run over your hose with the couplings, that's probably the best bet. It's going to be a little bit stronger material that's going to hold up to a whole lot more. Now again, if you put your hose into your coupling and screw it in properly, there shouldn't be any gap, so you're not exactly wearing on the material itself. You're coming right through the gasket into the other side of the hose or your nozzle. Another thing, when choosing the right coupling for your nozzles, you don't want to have an aluminum threaded nozzle going into an aluminum threaded nozzle coupling. Same with the brass. That's also why we offer the zinc aluminum threaded nozzles in our Scion in the 1 1/4. And other than that, it's a little bit of variety on what you need and picking the right thing for the job. As always, size things correctly, but everything looks good on paper. What we're going to have fun doing today, putting these things to some real world testing. So stay tuned for that. Kevin, here's that aluminum coupling. Here's the steel one. And the nylon. Oh, looks like they all held up fine. Bloop. All right, this next application is a little bit more real world. Let's say you're doing some scaffolding or some bridge work and you just end up dropping parts. Let's see what happens. So our steel part, our aluminum part, that didn't sound good. And our nylon part. Got another real world example. Let's say you're out on the job site and some idiot decides to just run over all your hose and couplings with their truck. Let's see what happens. You moved those couplings, right, Kevin?
Yes, sir.
Oh no! No! That's one.
Still intact. Ooh, we got some gravel in there. Not too shabby.
All right, Blasters, another real world application. You got idiots like me and Kevin working for you, and this is what's gonna happen. Hey Kevin, here's that nylon coupling you wanted. Oh! Oh, my fault. You wanted the aluminum one. Silly me. He wanted steel.
Shut up and sit down.
And now, a not so real world example of what could happen. You use them as baseballs. Aluminum. Let's see how the nylon does. And the one I'm not looking forward to, steel. Well, I don't know about baseball bat, but we'll see what we got. So Blasters, we had a little fun today, but we kind of learned something. These suckers are resilient, man. So the nylon seems to be holding up pretty good. No cracks, no busted, nothing. You know, it still seems round. We did have some hose in it, which probably helped a little bit with the truck. The steel, as I kind of figured, there is pretty much nothing wrong with this. We can pretty much put this right into production as is. The aluminum, we definitely got a couple scuff marks on here. It's a little bit out of round. I don't think I'd be using this out on the field. And it's got a nice little pink smudge because our baseball bat didn't hold up quite as well. So if you're sandblasting, don't use a baseball bat. Use some couplings from Blue Dog Blasting. Links below. Go get some. If you buy some parts, do an unboxing for us. We hear that's popular these days. Like the Facebook, like the YouTube. Get out there and blast.
Yeah!